Today I'll lead you through a shorter version of Bikram yoga. We'll do each pose once, including the 2 breathing exercises. We're going to start with our breathing exercise with your feet together, toes and heels touched. Interlace your fingers underneath your chin. Relax your shoulders, tighten your thighs, and begin inhale slowly through your nose. Stomach in. Fill up your lungs as you lift your elbows up as high as possible. Then exhale through your mouth as you bring your forearms, elbows, and wrists together. Inhale again through your nose, keeping your chin in contact with your knuckles. Stomach in. Exhale through your mouth slowly and steadily. Head down, elbows up. Inhale, keep your chin down, your elbows go up, breathing through your nose and your throat. Suck your stomach in and fill up your lungs all the way. Exhale. Push your head back with your knuckles against your chin, making a ha sound. Stretch your elbows forward and together towards the front. Inhale, chin down, elbows up. Use your throat. Your nose and mouth are the passageways. Fill up your lungs all the way. Exhale with your mouth open. Push your head back, hips a little bit forward, elbows touch together. Inhale through your nose, chin down, elbows up. Make each inhale a little deeper than the previous one. Exhale, push your head back, mouth open, and empty the lungs all the way with your elbows touching together at the end. Inhale again, chin down, elbows up. Push the chin into the knuckles, elbows all the way up to the ceiling. Exhale, push your head back, keep your spine straight. Stretch your elbows forward, touch them together at the end. Inhale and fill up your lungs as you lift your elbows up as high as possible. Then exhale through your mouth as you bring your forearms, elbows, and wrists together. Inhale again, chin down, elbows up. Use extra strength at the end of the inhale to breathe in even more than you think you can. Exhale, push your head back, just the arms and head move. Empty the lungs all the way. Bring your arms down by your side. The next pose is half moon. Bring your feet together, raise your arms, palms facing each other, and interlock your fingers in a nice tight grip. Extend your index fingers, keeping your thumbs crossed. Inhale, stretch up towards the ceiling. Slowly warm up, pushing your hips left and then right. Do this a few times on each side, making sure your arms are raised and straight beside either side of your head with elbows locked. Move left and right a few times to help loosen up both sides of your body. When you're ready, stop in the center, stretch up as tall as you can, lengthening your spine. Contract your thighs. Inhale and move your body to the right as you push your hips to the left without bending your elbows, without bending your knees. Keep your left hip forward and your right shoulder forward. Don't let your chin sink down into your chest. Keep it a few inches away. Suck your belly in. The weight is in your heels. Inhale as you lengthen. Exhale and stretch a little deeper. Continue to push your hips to the left. Feel the pull along the left side of your body. Keep your arms straight, pressed against your ears. The whole body is facing front. Keep pushing your hips to the left, creating this half moon curve. Now, slowly come up to the center, keeping your interlocked fingers pointed up to the sky. Reset and lock your knees. Stretch up and over to the left. Keep the weight in your heels, both feet flat. Make sure you're not twisting. Your right hip is forward, your left shoulder is forward. Keep your chin up and relaxed. Hands still in that firm grip all the way up to the wrists. The more you can keep the arms and legs straight, the deeper you'll feel it through your spine. Inhale as you push your hips out to the right, getting into a deeper stretch as you keep your thighs tightened and your kneecaps lifted. Exhale and bump your hips to the right a little bit deeper. Now, change and come up to the center, keeping your arms stretched above your head. Next is back bending. Stretch up toward the ceiling, lifting your torso up out of your hips. Then slowly drop your head back as far as possible. Your arms are still together and absolutely straight, and your upper body is back as much as possible. Keep maximum body weight in your heels. Keep pushing your hips forward, knees and elbows locked. Slowly come up, keeping your arms together. Now bend your knees for hand to feet pose. Bring your hands to your floor and bend it right and left several times. Relax your neck, relax your shoulders, and let your head be heavy here. Just warming up the spine, bending knees left and right, left and right. Keeping your knees bent, take hold of your heels from behind, stepping on all 5 fingers of each hand, pinky fingers touching side by side. Here I'll move so you can see a side view. Your elbows are wrapped behind your calf muscles, shoulders away from the ears. There's no gap between the body and the legs. Stretch your body as much as possible toward the floor. Try to lay your stomach on top of your thighs and your chest on your knees. The shoulders are away from the ears. Try to push your knees back as much as possible to straighten your legs. You'll see here that my legs are not straight. I'm working on loosening my tight hamstrings, so you might be more flexible here. Lock your knees. Your weight should be forward on your toes. Pull on your heels and lift your hips toward the ceiling, keeping your legs straight. Lock your knees and hold. Let go of your heels and come up slowly to center and exhale with your arms down by your side. Next is awkward pose, a challenging posture that instills discipline and builds strength. Stand with your feet about 6 inches apart. Inhale, lift your arms straight out in front of you, fingers together, palms face down, arms parallel to the floor. Relax your shoulders, keep your arms straight, and then sit down halfway, bringing your body weight into your heels. It's like you're sitting in a chair that's a little bit too far behind you. The goal is to try to keep your thighs parallel to the floor. I certainly can't, but goals are a work in progress. Keep your chest up, stretch your fingers toward the wall or mirror in front of you. Now, come up slowly with your arms in the same position. Rise all the way up onto your tippy toes as high as you can, keeping them as they are. Sit down again. Spine straight, like you're leaning against the wall. Back flat, stomach in. Thighs are parallel to the floor. Your legs might be shaking here, but this is where you practice discipline. Slowly come back to standing, keeping your arms in the same position. Now the third part. Come up a little bit on your toes and squeeze your knees and thighs tightly together. Suck in your stomach. Now sink down slowly, controlling your breath, working your way, sliding down an imaginary wall, all the way down until you're sitting on your heels. Your back is straight. Your arms are parallel to the floor. Hold. Now take a deep breath and rise up slowly, keeping your feet and knees together until you're straight. Exhale and lower your arms down by your side. The next pose is eagle pose. Inhale and lift your arms up over your head. Exhale and swing your right arm underneath your left arm, crossing at the elbows. Wrap the arm as far around the other one as much as you can. If you have the flexibility, place your palms flat against each other, thumbs toward your face. Now bend your knees and sit down halfway. Shift your weight to your left leg and lift your right leg up and over the left, wrapping the right calf and foot around the calf of the standing leg. Sink down deeper on the standing leg as far as possible. Lean your upper body back and squeeze your knees, ankles, and thighs. Come back up and swing your left arm underneath your right arm using gentle momentum. Bend your knees and sit down halfway. Shift your weight to your right leg and lift your left leg up over the right, wrapping the right calf and foot around the calf of the standing leg. Sink down deeper, keeping your right leg strong. Lean your upper body back and squeeze your knees, ankles, and thighs tightly. Keep pulling your elbows down to your chest so your fingertips go below your nose. Now come back up and we'll move into the next pose, standing head to knee. Stand upright with your feet together. Shift your weight to your left leg and lock the left knee. The thigh muscles are contracted. Lift your right knee up high, bend forward, and reach out with both hands and interlace your fingers underneath the ball of your right foot about 3 inches below the tips of your toes. Hold here, or you can get into the full expression by extending the right leg so that it's exactly parallel to the floor. Lock that knee, flex your toes so the toes are facing you. Now, just simply back your way out of it, and we'll do the other side. Shift the weight into your right leg, locking the knee. Pick up your left leg, interlace your fingers, and raise it up. Stay here with your right leg locked straight or continue by extending the left leg out parallel to the floor. This is a challenging position. Not everyone can do it with perfectly straight legs. The main focus is to keep the standing legs straight and the knees locked. Locking the standing knee at all times during the posture is essential. If the standing knee bends, we get no benefits and risk potential injury. You can see that I'm still working on that. Next is standing bow pose. Stand on your left leg with your knee locked. Bend your right leg at the knee and reach behind you with your right hand and grab your foot from the inside at the ankle. Stretch your left arm to the ceiling, keeping your shoulder to the chin. Hinge forward at the hips until your torso is parallel to the floor. You are stretching forward with your arm and kicking the right foot back with all your strength. Your body is bending like a bow. Slowly bring yourself out of the pose. Stand on your right leg with your knee locked. Bend your left leg, reach back and grab your left foot. Stretch your right arm to the ceiling and then bend forward at the hips until your torso is parallel to the floor. Arch your head and spine backwards as you pivot your torso forward. Your body's bending just like a bow. If you feel yourself starting to fall out of the pose, kick back even more while stretching your arm forward. Now gently come out of the pose. The next pose is balancing stick. Come to the back of your mat with your feet together. Inhale, lift your arms up over your head, interlace your fingers, and take a big step forward with your left leg. Pivot your right leg up, parallel to the floor, toes pointed down. Try to keep your hips level. Your outstretched arms and your back legs are one straight line. Come back out and step back. Now step forward with your right leg and hinge forward at your hip while simultaneously raising your left leg behind you. Your left toes are pointed down, abdomen parallel to the floor. Your shape looks like a letter T. Change back, arms by your side. The next posture is standing separate leg stretch. Position your legs so that they're about 4 feet apart, slightly pigeon-toed. Arms out parallel to the floor, palms facing down. Now, fold forward leading with your chest and grab your heels from the outside underneath your heels. Thumbs on the outside, all 5 fingers are together, pulling hard on the heels. If you can't grab your feet, put your hands on the floor in front of you about a foot apart. Legs are straight, knees locked if you can. Try to touch your forehead on the floor, or as close as possible. Your weight is on your toes, not your forehead. Your back is as straight as possible. Press your knees back, lift your hips. Keep your neck long, try not to scrunch it. Keep your back flat. From here we'll flow into triangle posture. Slowly come on out and pivot your left foot 90 degrees to the side on the left. Bend your left knee and move both arms at the same time. Reach down with the left arm and reach up with the right, placing the left elbow in front of the left knee and touching the tips of your fingertips to the floor. Turn your head and look up, your chin touching your right shoulder. Now move your arms back to parallel as you straighten the bent leg. Pivot your right foot 90 degrees to the side on the right. Bend your right knee and move both arms at the same time. Reach down with the right arm and reach up with the left, placing the right elbow in front of the right knee and touching the tips of the fingertips to the floor. Touch your chin to your left shoulder. Now move your arms back to parallel as you straighten the bent leg and come back to your wide stance. The next posture is standing separate leg head to knee pose. Keeping your stance at least 3 feet apart, raise your arms overhead, palms together, thumbs crossed, elbows locked. Pivot on your heels to face the left. Stretch up, tuck your chin, and round down to touch your forehead to your left knee. Your right foot is at a 45-degree angle. Legs are straight. You can bend the front knee as much as you need to. Square your hips so they become parallel. Suck in the stomach to create compression. Your clasped hands should rest gently on the floor in front of your foot with the arms and elbows straight. Or you can spread your fingertips on the floor in front of your toes and push into the floor with elbows locked. Now round up one vertebrae at a time and pivot to face the right side. Keeping both legs absolutely straight, stretch up toward the ceiling, tuck your chin, and round down. You can bend your knee as far as you need to in order to get the forehead to touch the knee, but the forehead shouldn't go lower than the knee. Your clasped hands should rest gently on the floor in front of your foot with the arms and elbows straight. Or you can spread your fingertips on the floor in front of your toes, pushing into the floor with your elbows locked. Keeping your legs straight and strong, round up one vertebrae at a time and bring your feet together, arms at your side. Next, we'll do tree pose and go immediately into toe stand. Stand with your feet together, your weight on the right leg, reach down with both hands and grab the left foot. Bring it to rest as high as you can on the front of your right thigh, sole of the foot facing up. Bring your hands together in prayer position. Now, bend the right knee and lower yourself on one leg as far as you can go. Bend forward from the lower spine and place the fingertips of both hands on the floor for support. Try to pick up your hands to put into prayer position. It's a challenging balance. Put both hands back on the floor in front of you. Come up by reversing the way you went down, straightening the right leg, and then lower the left foot from the right thigh. Now with the weight on the left leg, reach down and grab the right foot and place it to rest as high as you can on the front of your left thigh. Bring your hands together in prayer position at the center of your chest. Now bend the left knee and lower yourself on one leg as far as you can go. Place the fingertips of both hands on the floor for support. Your left foot isn't flat on the ground, you're balancing yourself on the ball of the foot. Try to pick up your hands to put in prayer position. Toe stand is a powerful posture that can help open up hip joints and strengthen the knees. Now put both hands back on the floor for support and come up by straightening the left leg. Lower the right foot from the right thigh. Next, we'll go into wind removing pose. Lay down on your mat. Since this is a short video, we'll have a very short savasana. Lie flat on your back, keeping your limbs straight. Bring your heels together and your arms close enough to almost touch the sides of your body. Turn your palms upward toward the ceiling to release pressure on the shoulder joints, and keep your eyes open to remain present. Relax your whole body as one unit. Let the floor support your full weight. Hopefully you won't have a distraction like I do here. Now, bend your right knee up toward your chest. Interlock all 10 fingers and grasp that leg just 2 inches below the knee. Keeping the right foot relaxed, pull the knee down towards your right shoulder, slightly avoiding the rib cage so that you can compress the abdomen. Pull harder. Lower the right leg back down to the floor, then bend the left knee and bring the left knee toward the left shoulder. Keep pulling the knee continuously. The calf of the right leg stays touching the floor. Lower the left leg back down to the floor and take both legs and bring them to the chest. Clasp your arms around your legs below your knees and reach your hands across to grab the elbows. If you can't reach, then take hold of the forearms or your wrists. Your shoulders are down, chin is tucked. Try to keep the tailbone and back of your head touching the floor. Your knees are together. Now lower the arms and legs to the floor and we'll do our first sit-up. Legs are locked, feet are flexed back. Extend both arms overhead and cross your thumbs. Inhale and sit up straight, keeping your arms over your head as you exhale forcefully. Turn around and lie down on your belly for cobra pose. From there, we'll flow into locust and then into full locust. Lie on your stomach, legs and feet together. Tighten the muscles in your legs and glutes. Point your toes. Place your palms on the floor, fingertips under the tops of your shoulders pointing forward, elbows touching your sides. Now look up, raise your head, and using the strength of your back, lift your torso off the floor. Your elbows should be bent at 90-degree angles, tight to your sides. The shoulders are relaxed and down. Arch your head and torso back as much as possible, pressing the belly button into the floor. Lower down, turn your face to one side, and place your arms down by your sides. Now turn your head so your chin is resting on the floor. Place your arms under your body with your palms flat on the floor, fingers spread, pinkies touching. Now raise the right leg to a 45-degree angle, keeping your legs straight. Don't lift all the way up to the hip. The right hip should stay down. Slowly lower the right leg to the floor. Keep your arms where they are and now lift the left leg up to a 45-degree angle. If you hold your foot in what feels like a slightly pigeon-toed position, you will actually be doing this correctly. Slowly lower the left leg. Now turn your head and chin face down. Lock both knees, point your toes, squeeze your legs together, and raise both of your legs. Hips this time off the floor as high as possible. Lower both legs slowly, under control, with your knees locked. Remove your arms from underneath and place them at your sides. Next is full locust, and then we'll flow to bow pose. Extend both arms out to the sides with your palms down. Head forward, chin resting on the floor, legs together. In one movement, raise both arms, both legs, and your entire torso off the floor. Your arms are now lifting up, looking like the wings of an airplane. Come down slowly. Bend your knees behind you. Reach back and take hold of both feet from the outside, keeping all 5 fingers together about 2 inches below the toes. Point your toes and lift your thighs off the floor. Kicking backward and upward against your hands will lift the legs even higher off the floor. As your legs move higher, roll forward until you're balanced on the center of your abdomen. Lower the torso and legs face down with your head to one side. And we'll rest here for a moment before we go into fixed firm pose. Bring your hands under your shoulders and come up to a seated position. Sit down between your heels and place the palms of your hands on your upturned toes. Slowly bend your elbows down to the floor behind you, lowering your head, shoulders, and torso to the floor. Slide the elbows out from under you and raise your arms up over your head and lay them flat on the floor. Your elbows are bent with your hands clasping the opposite elbows. This posture improves the flexibility of the lower spine, hips, knees, and ankle joints. It also increases circulation to the lower limbs, and it's therapeutic for lower back pain. Use your elbows and hands to help yourself come up slowly the same way you went in. Turn around and lay down on your mat for Savasana. Next is half tortoise pose. Extend both arms overhead and cross your thumbs and sit up straight, keeping your arms, head, and torso together. Legs are straight, knees are locked, heels touching the floor. Try to bring the forehead to your knees. Now come on to the middle of your mat in kneeling position. Lift your arms up over your head, place the palms together, crossing the thumbs. Reach your arms up as high as you can, suck in your stomach and bend forward slowly, keeping your body in one straight line from tailbone to fingertips until the edges of your little fingers touch the floor. At the same time, bring your forehead to the floor. Keep your hips down on your heels, elbows are locked, wrists and arms are straight. Reach forward even more with your arms. Now come up exactly as you went down, lifting slowly with your back straight. Stay seated for camel pose. Stand up straight on your knees this time, rather than sitting on your heels. Your knees and feet are 6 inches apart. Put your hands on the backs of your hips, fingers pointing down. Drop your head backward. The hands will support your lower back. Slowly and carefully reach your left hand down, taking hold of your left heel. Your thumbs should be to the outside of the foot. Then do the same with the right hand, taking hold of the right heel. If you can't grab your heels at first, keep the hands on the backs of the hips to support the back. There's no pulling on the heels, you're just holding them. Push your thighs, hips, and stomach forward as much as possible. This will arch your torso backward. You'll feel this throughout your entire back and spine. Come up by reversing the way you went down. Slowly take the right hand off the right heel, left hand off the left heel. Next is rabbit pose. Sit down on your heels with your knees and feet together. Reach both hands back behind you, grab your heels, palms down with the thumbs on the outside of the feet and fingers to the inside. Look down at your stomach, lower your chin to your chest, and curl your torso forward, slowly until your forehead is touching your knees and the top of your head is touching the floor. Once the top of your head is touching the floor, lift your hips into the air, pulling on your heels with all your strength. Straighten your arms completely. As your body rolls forward, your thighs will move also until they are perpendicular to the floor. You want the tension between your arms and heels to hold up most of your weight instead of resting that weight on your head and neck. Because of the tucked chin, you may feel a little choked in your throat, which is normal. Still holding your heels, reverse the forward curl slowly, come up back to the kneeling position. Relax on your back in Savasana. Next we'll do a sit-up. Extend both arms overhead and cross your thumbs and sit up straight, keeping your arms, head, and torso together. Next, we'll do head to knee and stretching pose. Stretch your left leg out diagonally. Bend your right knee and bring your right heel into the groin area near the top of your left leg. Lock the left knee, interlock your fingers, tuck in your chin, and bend down over the outstretched leg. Grasp the left foot firmly in both hands with the fingers interlocked beneath the ball of the foot and toes. If you can't bring the forehead to the knee, you can bend your knee as much as you need to, as long as your head touches the knee. Now we'll switch sides. Extend the right leg and bend your left knee. Interlock your fingers, tuck your chin into your chest and bend down over the leg. Grasp the right foot firmly. The thumbs stay crossed under the toes. Press down with your forehead on the knees and try to lock your knee. Come up slowly and extend both legs straight out in front of you. Recline backwards to the floor, raising both arms up, and do an immediate sit-up. Take hold of your big toes with your first two fingers of each hand, palms facing each other. Pull the toes toward you as much as possible. Wiggle your hips backward, right and left a few times, which will help you reach forward a little further. Try to lock both knees. For me, I struggle with tight hamstrings, so my knees won't straighten. You might be more flexible. Try to bend your elbows and touch your forehead to your knees. Straighten and tighten your legs on the floor with your chest up and your back flat. Now come up slowly for spine twisting pose. In a seated position, bend your right knee so that the knee touches the floor. Lift your left leg over the bent right leg and place the foot just to the outside of the right knee. The sole of the foot is flat on the floor. Bring your right arm up and over and take hold of the right knee. Place the left hand on the floor behind you. Turn your head, shoulders, and torso to the left, twisting as much as possible. Try to keep both sits bones and the right knee on the floor. Maintain a straight spine. Emptying your lungs facilitates the twist. As you exhale, try to twist around a little farther. Hold. Unwind slowly, then reverse the legs and arms. Bend your left knee and lift your right leg over to the outside of the left knee. Bring your left arm over and take hold of the left knee and place the right hand down on the floor behind you. Turn your head, shoulders, and torso to the right, twisting as much as possible. Try to keep both sits bones on the floor while maintaining a straight spine. Now unwind slowly and come to a kneeling position for our final pose, blowing in firm pose. Purse your lips as if you're blowing out a candle. Now forcefully blow out your breath rapidly. The inhale will occur naturally. Let's stop and rest for a moment before we do the next set. We'll go a little bit faster this time. When you're finished, lie down and rest in Savasana for as long as you like. Thank you for taking this class with me. I wish you all a great day. Namaste.